Go.
Hi, so how do you think that life has become more expensive, or has it become more expensive throughout your years of experience?
Oh gosh, I think it's kind of a complicated question when you work with people and you try to plan, what it's going to cost them to live, both now and in the future. I think in some sense, there's some parts of life that have become less expensive, especially things that have to do with technology. If you think about, TVs, big screen TVs, computers. Back when I first got into this business, if you wanted a nice computer, you'd pay $2,000, and now you can get a decent computer for $100, $200. So those parts of life, I think, have really driven cost of living down. But then when you start talking about things like healthcare, in where we live around here, property taxes, living expenses, those have all gone up. And I think the other big thing is standard of living. A lot of the people that I work with, when they were maybe, raising kids and doing things 20, 30 years ago, the things that people felt like they needed were a lot less. People maybe lived a little bit of a simpler life. And now there are things that people feel like they need to have. For example, a big one there would be vehicles. Back when I was growing up, we had a family of 7. We had 2 cars. Can you imagine a family of 7 having 2 cars today?
No, I cannot.
No. People, with the advent of independence and wanting to have convenience and that kind of thing, that has really driven the cost of living up, because now a family of 4 or 5, instead of just having 1 or 2 cars, pretty much in every instance they're going to have 3 or 4 cars, and that costs money in addition to just the cost of those items going up. So I would say in general, cost of living has gone up mainly because of that even though technology has brought things down, standard of living and convenience and those sorts of things have really demanded people wanting to pay for more and more stuff.
Okay. Would you also say that maybe people's priorities have shifted into spending? You talked a little bit like how people used to have like a smaller amount of things that they needed. Do you think like that needing to have that larger amount of things has harmed people financially?
I think it has made it, tougher. I mean, there's a greater need to have greater earning power for sure, because as your lifestyle goes up, you have to have a way to pay for that. And I think in general, people's lives have gotten busier. We do a lot more with our time. And I think people are more willing to, that's the other thing that came to my mind that has really caused the cost of living to go up, is that people are now more willing to pay for stuff that they normally would have done on their own, whether or not it's, changing your oil or eating out versus cooking in, having people watch your kids. Any of that is people are a lot more willing to swap, to pay for things rather than swapping their time for that. And so when you said the word priority, that's what jumped to my mind. I think there has been a little bit of a shift in priorities in terms of, as people have wanted to have time available to do stuff like, travel with their kids if they're doing travel sports, or have their kids involved in more activities,